What's up, guys? LolMouth5 here, also known as Joker, and welcome to my review of The Lost Treasure of Griffonstone. Now, I just want to say, first up, I'm a little... I don't know, it's that weird feeling where you think you're tired, you're sick, it's one of the two, but you can't quite pinpoint one or both. But, before we get started on this review, I'm gonna hopefully do it in record time, probably not, there's a lot of notes here. First, I want to say that, of course... spoilers, of course, watch the episode if you haven't seen it yet. And I'm not going to use any clips from the actual episode because I uploaded it, because I wanted to stay up, so if I put clips up which will get it taken down, defeats the entire purpose of putting it up in the first place. So, without further ado, let's get to it. So, first up I want to say it's always nice to see Pinkie Pie cooking. We don't see that much, you know. It's a nice easy start, you know, just like how seeing Applejack doing some apple bucking or Rarity doing some nice sewing. It's always nice to see the characters just doing what they love. Just gives the episode a nice start, like, yeah, let's just dive right into this, just like having the cherry on the top of the pie. Alright, well, not the pie, but the cake. Cake! Whatever cakes use chairs on the top, but, And it's nice to see the Q map again being used instead of conveniency for the plot, you know. I wish they would have done that in, say, what was it called? Applejack's Most Wanted, you know, if it was actually Applejack instead of the Kingdom Crusaders. You know, Applejack getting her is like, oh, there's something going over there. Oh, there's a radio going over there. Maybe we can hang out with Brayburn. And then Brayburn will be used as a plot device for the Kingdom Crusaders, and Applejack could have just tried to find troubleshoots on her own, and then finding out, oh, that would have been so much better. Use the Kingdom Map more, guys. Use it. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful plot device. Wonderful. And I don't say that about most plot devices. Ooh, usually I hate them. Alright, so... yeah, nice to see the map. Actually, it's nice to see it just summon, you know, just those who are needed for the mission, you know. That makes it more nice, and also gives the writers and the animators an excuse just to have only two of the main characters in there, you know. The animators just go, oh, we just had to animate two of them, then they finally had to animate Griffins, but, you know, the writers just have to... because I, from experience as a writer, know it's hard to write for multiple characters and keeping track of them, like, you know, be like, oh, now Brady's there, we need to have her not just be in the background going, duh. So, you know, it's just like, okay, just have two of them, then we don't have to have all of them speaking at once. There we go. Ooh. Yeah, nice excuse. That plot device, use it, yo. And the Griffin Empire at last! Oh, and Gilda! Oh. I believe I said this last year at a panel. I said, I want the Griffin Empire to be shown in Season 5, come on. So you know what that means? That means sea ponies could be around the corner. Shooby-doo. Shoop-shooby-doo. And Season 5 is just filled with great continuity so far. It's just, you know, remember Gilda or remember Liz. Just, so much continuity. It's beautiful. Love it. Season 5 is definitely my favorite season so far, even though it's got the worst episode so far. Gloom and gloom, gloom and doom and bloom. Anyway, back on track. I love the myth and the history of the Griffins that they serve straight up away. You know, it's like a medieval tapestry also going on as well. Just, I love it when the story does that. I even do it myself, though I need to step up my game when it comes to that. Yeah, I need artists. I'm an animator, not an artist. They're both. Not really good in the artist, but, you know, just how they play around with the visual style of this episode, and I'll talk about the others later, but just want to say how, you know, just like these still images of this tapestry like medieval, with the Griffins enjoying their olden times, you know, just grabbing each other's gold, and... I don't know, I just really like it, you know. I always like it when a world like this mythos, you know, oh, maybe it wasn't real, maybe it wasn't. Seriously, there's, you know, when they say, oh, no, people's like, oh, no wonder no one would want to record a history that's sad. Yes, they do. Writers, that's not an excuse to not note down the rest of their history. That's like if going, oh, we're not going to note down the Holocaust. It was just such a sad time. Let's not record it. You know, let's not record the Third Reich or Hitler. You know, that's just a really sad part of history. Let's forget about it. Let's not note it down. You know, you can't use that as an excuse, writers. Bad writers, bad. I'm going to knock some points away from there. And I love remember Dash's Twilight impression. Always bring extra bits. Just the way her hair changes in her eyes. So part of me thinks that maybe they just took Twilight's... symbol or model, whatever you want to call it, and then just added the colors of Rainbow Dash. But still, it's really funny and really amazing. Comedy. And that's the only real funny moment in this episode, really. Actually, there is a few more, but, you know, obviously it focuses on something else, and it's getting really stuffy in here. I think someone's cooking, that's why. Yeah, and the art in this episode, I'm going to mention this so many times, because the art in this episode is fantastic. Especially the backgrounds are amazing, especially when... Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie just climbing the mountain, and then just Twilight's narration as they're just climbing up, and there's just these just wide open spaces, just these huge caverns, and it's just amazing, just breathtaking. And of course, now let's go for the one big problem for me this episode. If the Griffins are incredibly greedy, shouldn't they be focusing on trade and marketing, not being around like, I want to keep this. That's not greed, that's sloth, not greed. I would have loved a really huge, busy market town, dun 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 dun, with like all these other species going around, like some unicorns, like, oh, we're going here, sir. Oh, yeah, you buy this, absolutely great. Just all these just huge, busy marketplace. Just why? Because that's the one thing like in this episode. Just more wide open spaces like the ones where they're climbing up the mountain. Just more wide shots like that. I always love my wide shots just to show what a place looks like. But no, to be honest, I could use this episode as well because even I need to remember that, note down. I want that to be a wide shot of the thing. Overall, though, the Griffins seem to be just not caring about things more than greed. They seem like the Crystal Empire, but just done weirdly. You want to show them as greed. You can have them really run downtown, not like a hovel. It seems like the elven alienage from Dragon Age. But I think that would have been better. Not a really terrible point. Again, I gave this a really high rating in the end, but not a really terrible point. It's just a big problem for me. I just wish they could have just gone for more that level. All right, let's move on before I drag on with that point. You get the idea. I love the unique design of each one of the Griffins, though. The fez with his grandpa and that one eye that's marked down, and then some of them have got different feather styles in their hair and different accessories. I think they did a really great job of making each Griffin look completely different. Because they don't do that much good job of ponies. That's why they had to clone them everywhere. Liar, why can't there be more ponies like you? Anyway, moving on. The story of how the idol got taken itself isn't very amazing. It's just they found a thing, everyone loved it, then it got taken, then they lost it. But how it's actually shown is really amazing. Again, the art of this episode just freaking blew me out of the water. It's like kind of like an animatic, the way it's animated, just like these still shots and then just lack of framed animation. But just the way it's shown, and especially the shading in that one story or backstory, whatever you want to call it, shading is just absolutely freaking amazing. Just especially compared to the actual episode itself, just the level of detail and oh man, that goat minotaur. I can't remember his name. I think it's Arames or something. Aristes. But still, it's absolutely unbelievable. Like the way arms are coming out of his thing, and then it's just got that huge eye. And I just really love him. I hope I want to see him again, but I hope we don't see him again at the same time. In the sense that keep him just for that one shot as this legendary creature. It's like that one line in One Piece song. It's only legendary till someone proves it real. And it's the same here. If you show it again and again, or have more of it, because that would have been. It wouldn't have been more. It wouldn't have been as breathtaking. The actual creature itself. If it showed Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie and Gilda fighting it, that wouldn't have been amazing. It's much better to just keep it into the story. It's more legend than. Get the idea? I love it. I love the backstory of how it's shown in the Minotaur goat thing. I don't like the actual story itself, but I like how Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie take different paths or approaches to the problem. Rainbow Dash is like, oh, I'm gonna go find this freaking legendary thing. I'm gonna find the idol and everything's gonna be okay. But Pinkie Pie's like, I'm actually gonna do what Twilight asked me to do. I'm gonna go find the library and see what I can find out. Research all the things. Yeah, Pinkie Pie does actual research. Well, her own way. You'll see. If you've seen the episode, you've already seen it. But yeah, how dare you, people who haven't seen it. Spoilers. Again, the art of this episode, again, really freaking top-notch. I don't know what I'm talking about here in the... Oh, yeah, sorry, my notes are really scatterbrained. I got really scatterbrained in this part when I was taking notes. But, yeah, I think I'm talking about how the hovel itself, I was talking about how wide shots... There isn't a wide shot of the actual hovel town itself of Griffonstone. Because it really looks like the Elven Age, like all these torn-down buildings and trees just falling apart. I really love that look, In the end, I do like how it looks. I was talking about, oh, I wish it was this busy market town. That doesn't mean I don't like what they have done. What they have done is really nice. Really like looking at it. It's absolutely amazing. Well, amazing in the sense of, it has a heavy atmosphere without, showing the people that much. They could have gone with loads of shots like, oh, I'm sad, I'm greedy. They have so many shots of that. But just showing the actual state of the town and the state that they're living in is enough, Don't be too heavy on it. Just be a bit more subtle, which is what this episode does a lot with. You'll see that's enough. And the singing joke. There's no singing! Well, how'd you break into musical numbers? And why does Gilda need money to leave? That's just a small nitpick there. And as you know, I always say, if you don't pick them nits, they're gonna lay eggs. Why does Gilda need money to leave? Didn't she already leave for Ponyville before, right? And she's a Griffin, and you've seen the state of the town. What could be worse? Why does Gilda need money to leave the town? If she wants to leave, she should just freaking leave. It's a little silly. Little small nitpick, but whatever. Who could just say that she likes being there? And I love Gilda as a whole this episode, especially how her care for others isn't forced or whatever. It's not like, oh, you're right, I do care. It's more hinted at how it was hanging with Rainbow Dash that made her different from all the other Griffins. And we'll get to that right in a few seconds. But the reason why the Griffins couldn't fly down with the idol makes sense. God, that's a really giant leap I made there. But we'll get back to Gilda in just a second. We'll make a lot of talk about her. But the reason why the Griffins couldn't get to the idol straight away makes sense. All that gushing wind, and maybe years ago they didn't have, climbing devices. It makes sense, so it still leads into how Gilda can still show that she cares for her Rainbow Dash and all that. Speaking of, the lead to the flashback is very smooth and executes the effect of how Gilda wants to save Dash, without seeming forced in any kind of way, how Pinkie Pie's like, wasn't there a time when she's like, don't you care about her? No. Didn't you at least care about her once? Well, yeah. And then she just gets lost in thought, and then it happens. And the flashback itself, it's just really nice, adorable. It ties a lot of things together, like how did they two met? What were they like when they were younger? Why did they care for each other? How did they become friends? And it even brings a tear to the eye, and even Gilda's eye. Gilda, don't cry. If you cry, I'm gonna cry. And now she just, straight afterwards, isn't like in a sobbing match, just like, fine, but that doesn't mean she's my friend, And even she's a bit cocky with it, even after the fact, she's like, fine, I'll do it. And the choice between her friends and the idol, it may seem really cliche, even I was a bit especially I didn't notice it because of how well the scene was tied together, how everything was just worked out on the pacing. It was just really well done. I didn't even notice how cliche it was. It's like the people you care about or a material item. But I think it was actually, again, well executed, very smooth, and it really developed Gilda's character as a whole. Truly delivers the message of the episode without saying it out loud. Like how they did the last episode. It's like, are you saying you should have too many friends? That's what the best kind of message. The message you don't have to shout out loud, which I'm still having trouble with myself, but they really pulled off this episode really well. Like, very subtle, very nice. And again, the art of this episode, the Go Minotaur skull, when it just appears, just very chilling. The amount of detail on it, just like, oh man, it's like that thing was real. It's like, it wasn't just a legend, but oh. Then, the choice between the friends and all that, and the idol just, oh man. You think it would be cliche, but it's not. It's really not. When you get down to it. Plus, I haven't seen it that much in recent history, but anyway, move on. It's nice to see the outcome and even the hero work of the episode done by someone outside the main six again. Gilda's actually the one who saves him, and then, as we're about to see, brilliant how they executed saving the town. It was very subtle, not, in the sense that, they didn't say, oh, now everyone's saved, now all the town's back to normal, everything's suddenly magically fixed. No, it's not even that. Gilda, technically, at the end, doesn't even make one friend. She doesn't say that. It just gets a simple compliment, and they're just eating things at the end. It's very nice, They could have done something way more stupid, like, let's see, I don't know, Gilda just getting the thing, a magic thing, and sharing cupcakes around, or those scones. What were they called? I can't remember. Griffin cakes. I don't know what they were called. I think they were scones. Weren't they scones? But yeah, they could have had her handing them out, and everyone's like, oh yeah, these are lovely. Oh, but no, it was just very subtle, very slow. And even Gilda herself was like, wait, I had to do all this? It's like, no, you've already made two friends. Come on, you can do this. Come on, Gilda. Ooh. And final thoughts, as in all of us together. As I said the entire time, the art in this episode, I think is the best it's ever been in the show so far. Just a load of great shots. The shading in the flashbacks, wherever the stories, impressive. The shot of the skull, and even the design of the goat minotaur itself. They didn't need to show it a million times like the Hydra. They just needed to show it just for a few frames, and just leaves that much huge more of an impact, like an actual legend, And the subtlety, or the subtle but heavy moments in this episode were just absolutely fantastic, Like I said, the subtlety, they don't show Gilda saving the entire town, it's implied that she's going to start doing that, but still, saving her entire, well, not even the town, but her entire race all by herself. And, they don't hurry up like, oh, you're going to do this, you're going to save the entire race. And like, well, I have to do this, really? I don't, again, really subtle but very heavy. It's just so much this episode that's just absolutely fantastic. And of course, it was great to finally see more Griffins, but again, a bit of a letdown for what I was expecting them like this huge marketplace, but still was great to see all the unique designs. Of course, it was amazing to see Gilder again, and I'll get to her in a moment. She's the highlight of this episode. But yeah, it was really, did love to see the Griffins, and I can't wait to see the Sea Ponies. And the message itself, which I'm not even going to say, because obviously it is pretty straightforward what the message was. The message was subtle, well executed for the message itself, though if you know what the message was, it was a little cliche. I'm not going to say it, because pretty much so obvious. But still, like, it didn't force it down our throats, which is the best part. The best message is one that's not forced down your throat. It's just like subtle in the background. It's more like, it's very hard. It's just as hard to pull it off as it is to explain it. And finally, Gilda herself was fantastic this episode. Oh, that's the word today, fantastic. Usually my word is crazy. But from her development, the flashback, her reactions to, Pinkie Pie, her conversations with Rainbow Dash, how she was introduced, and how not only she saved the main characters, Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash from falling, but also how the responsibility of changing or saving her whole race just falls upon her. But again, they just weren't heavy with it, but they were just subtle with it to just the right amount where it does feel, you do feel a weight on her shoulders, She doesn't say out loud, I'm gonna have to do all this. You just know from how they execute it, just how heavy the situation is for her and the entire town. Just absolutely amazing. Overall, I give this episode a 9.3 out of 10. I still really love the Rainbow Dash episode. It's still my favorite so far this season. If you haven't seen my review of that, go see it. But yeah, overall, this was an absolutely amazing episode. Love seeing the Griffins. Hopefully, we see the Sea Ponies, because I still want my winter episode. I was promised a winter episode after Thanks for the Memories, man. I wouldn't mind winter. But thank you for watching my review. This has been Loma5, also known as Joker, saying bye-bye. Later.